Hello and welcome back to a brand new vlog. My name is Orion and I post videos every single Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. And we are currently renovating our home that we had to move out of 4 months ago because the building isn't fire safe. So we've had contractors in putting holes in the wall and in the ceiling, as you can see by this big square tile here. And that created a lot of dust and a lot of mess that we have slowly but surely been cleaning and fixing. It might not seem like it, but this is organised chaos. And the room is slowly but surely getting tidier. However, on today's agenda is the bedroom. Because today we are receiving a new unit that is going to separate the room from about here. It's going to go from the floor all the way to the ceiling. And then we're going to put the bed in the corner there, move that desk into this corner here, and we should have like a bedroom slash desk space. I know this sounds confusing, but we're trying to maximize the amount of space we have, and we don't really use our bedroom for anything other than sleeping in. So we're utilizing all the space on the other side of the room here, so when Jess works from home, she can do her work in that corner there, and then the rest of the space will be organized for her crafting. And I somehow have to figure out if I can mount a TV to the back of a Calyx unit that's going to go here. So what I'm kind of thinking is if B&Q can cut me some MDF boards of size to stick on the back as like a back paneling, I can somewhat use that as like a false wall that I can mount the TV to, and because it's going from the floor all the way to the ceiling, there's no worry of it like really kind of falling over. However, that is a problem for later. I've just received notification from IKEA that they are nearly here. So let's clear as much space as possible so we can actually build the unit in here. Starting with this bed. That is much better. And perfect timing because IKEA have just delivered the parcel. But before we start moving this into here and building it, we need to move this bed out the way, and we need to move this desk as well. So let's pull this and see what's underneath. You know, there's something slightly uncomfortable about revealing the mess in your house. And to be honest, I'm not even sure why there's like sandpaper underneath the bed, but hey ho. Either way, we've got the desk moved and cleaned, the floor hoovered up, and we're ready to start building furniture here. All that's left to do is to slightly reorganize it by moving that bed back into this corner and that desk into there, like so. And I believe I got my measurements just right. Yep, the door closes still. And I think I am just about ready to start building the Calyx unit. So this is kind of how the layout's going to go. We've got the bed in the corner where it's going to be. Then the desk is going to be here. And then the Calyx unit is literally going to go at the end of the bed here to separate and divide the room. And that is assuming I have got my measurements right and it fits. Because one of the caveats about building this Calyx unit is that I had to stack it. So I have a small one and then a big one. And what I'm actually gonna have to do is put like the small one down first and then build the big one on top of that and fix them all together. So it's gonna be kind of like a tower of two. And the actual height measurement of both of these units stacked together is exactly the size of the floor to the ceiling by like 1 centimeter. So we're playing with really fine margins. All right, we have all the tools of the job. I've got the drill, and honestly, the best thing I've ever bought for that drill, which is an Allen key bit, so I can stick that in the drill and fix furniture together really quickly. And of course, I have the Stanley knife, so I can cut the box open. And with that said, I think it is time to jump into a time lapse. Okay, stage one of building the Calyx unit has gone fairly well. Unfortunately, it arrived with a big old dent in it. Well, if I'm completely honest, I'm not actually that bothered because when it goes at the end of the bed like this, you are never going to see it, but I might get it replaced at some point. But right, we are nearly done with stage one. I just need to connect the legs of the unit to the Calyx unit itself. And I need to build these funky little roller things, which are super easy to do. Of just sticking these together and screwing them in. I actually really like, I might be one of the few people, I really like putting furniture together. It doesn't stress me out at all. Like, honestly, since I found that, like, the Allen key drill bits, absolute game changer. It literally takes seconds with that thing. And honestly, you'd be amazed how many people don't actually use it. All right, that is job one done. It is in place. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna leave it here with a bit of a fine gap at the end of the bed if I do decide to put like a sheet on the back of it. But I am a little bit concerned that it's not as stable as I'd like, so I might have to fix it to the wall. Anyways, with part one done, let's move on to part two. And voila, stage number 2 is complete. Now the last thing that we need to do is put that on top of there and hope it fits. Am I confident that it's going to fit? Not really. All right, here is to hoping that this is going to fit. Just go straight up now. Get onto the bed as well. Ouch, my fingers. Sorry. Wow, you should see the clearance on this. I am actually quite shocked that I've measured it fairly well, and there is literally a sliver of space at the top. However, as I'm sure you can imagine, it isn't exactly stable, so it does wobble a little bit, so I need to fix it probably to the ceiling, to the wall, and to each other. And then what I'm thinking is when we're lying in bed, if I get a backboard fitted to the back of that so we can't see through to the other, like the other side of the room, I can then stick a TV on there. But I'll be honest, as I sit here in bed, I kind of like that you can see through the holes. It could be like really nice to put like say plants in here and have it trail down here. It'll like make this area really cozy. So even though we've given up a large portion of the bedroom to turn it into more like an office space and have our bed like tucked in the corner, it actually still feels very cozy in here. And as I've said before, just because we only use this to sleep in, I actually don't mind segmenting the room off like this and having more like an office space in here. Already, this feels way nicer than what it was before. It's a much better use of space for sure. But we have teleported to home base, where I think Tom might actually wet himself at the amount of boxes they have here. But we're on the hunt for some brackets so we can stitch the Calyx unit together. And it looks like I've found exactly what I need. Perfecto, I have got all of the gear, but I've just found even more of these boxes that Tom loves to collect, for the lack of a better term. There's actually so many of them, and they're all on sale. So if you like Tom and you need some really useful boxes, then get yourself down to home base. But boxes aside, it's time to fit those. And what I'm thinking is we take these brackets and we just literally slot them like that, which should be nice and easy if we just screw this into here. That's one done. And screw number 2. Nice and secure. I just need to do that a couple more times. Sweet, that is nice and secure. Now I just need to fit it to the wall and to the ceiling. However, I am wondering whether I do that now or not, because I am considering sticking a backboard on this like I've discussed earlier. And I'm also contemplating sticking some wood at the top here so it is flush to the ceiling. That way I know it's just not going to go anywhere. So before I get any brackets and start screwing it into the ceiling, I think we'll leave it like it is for now. But as I sit here in like Jess's office space, it makes me realize how much more room that she actually has in here. Like, look how much space there is now. You've got like a big desk here, the big unit there to store loads of stuff in, not alone all the stuff behind me. I am actually so glad that we did this. It looks so good. And some more thinking has led me to a bit of decision. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now and get some MDF from B&Q and cut to basically 2 cube size all the way up to the ceiling. So we'll have an MDF board that literally starts there and goes all the way up, and then another one that goes up from there all the way down, and then I'm going to get some timber and I'm going to run it straight across the bindle there. And even though I have literally just gone and brought some brackets, that timber will actually act as one large bracket that runs across the entire back panel of this, and then the MDF will sit on it and act as a backboard for this. Then it's the case just hoping that I can fix this TV bracket to the backboard, which with a bit of DIY and some perseveration, we should get it done. All right, off to B&Q, where I probably should have come for brackets and stuff earlier, but here's what it is. Time to get some MDF cut to size, which, believe it or not, I have now been here for an hour getting the wood that I need and the other bits and pieces so we can finally head back home, where hopefully I've got my measurements right and that will fit there. So, right, this should, in theory, go that side there, and then this one should go right next to it, like that. And would you look at that? Perfecto. Now obviously it's actually going to sit up there a bit more. I could go all the way to the ceiling to there, but it's going to essentially sit there, like that. Exactly like that, actually. Now all's left to do is to just screw them into place. Well, hopefully this holds. Voila, we have a backboard. Now it is not perfect by any means, and it definitely needs painting white. However, this means we can now stuff stuff in here without worrying about falling on the other side. Obviously, I did like the idea of it being hollow like I mentioned earlier, but for the practicality purposes of it, it works better to have a backboard. Now I did make a mistake with the way that I got these boards cut. As you can see, I've laid them down vertically and I want it to go horizontally. And the reason for that is because when I mount the TV onto this board here, at the moment, there is a gap that goes straight down the middle. That is exactly the center point of these two because I got it cut in half. And it kind of makes it hard to screw straight into the middle. Because this is the TV mount, and as you can see there, if I was to screw through, it'd be screwing through a gap. It's not really very practical for what I want to do. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Even with that gap, this is the size of the wood that I'd be screwing in to support the TV, which I don't trust too much. So what I was actually considering doing is getting some like 2x4 on each side of here and pinning it to basically reinforce this and then screwing straight into the 2x4 that would be here. So it almost basically block out this like quadrant here and make it thicker to hold the TV, and that would probably work a little bit better, but I'm not entirely sure right now. For the time being, we've got the unit up, we've got a backboard on it. It needs painting and like finishing off and stuff like that. But I think the structure of the room is coming together nicely. And as it is now nearly 5 o'clock, the sun is going down and I'm running out of light to actually work on the flat. Don't get me wrong, obviously I have lights, but with the way that I've segmented the room, only half the room is lit. So it's actually getting quite difficult to even see the back of this. So I think with that in mind, I'm gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. I know we've been doing a lot of the DIY stuff. For Christmas bag behind. I didn't even realise it was a Christmas bag, but we've been doing a lot of the DIY stuff. I think what I might do for the next vlog is go for a little bit of an adventure, go outside, explore a little bit, because whilst I do have a lot of stuff going on with the flat, I'm actually talking about painting this place as well. Because the more I actually come back here, I see how absolutely battered the walls are and stuff like that. So I might actually just come back and repaint the entire thing. And then just continue on with the, you know, the starting fresh feeling, fresh kind of feel that we've got going with the flat at the moment. Like next vlog, you won't see these anymore. These would have gone by the next vlog. So yeah, we are slowly but surely making progress with this place, and I hope you are enjoying it. I know a lot of people gave me some really good feedback saying that they do enjoy the DIY flat vlogs, so thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in to support them. But if you do enjoy these vlogs, make sure you leave a thumbs up rating and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you guys every single Wednesday and Sunday at 6 PM. So peace, peace, much love, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.